Testing test equal. I'm testing test equal. Hi, hello, welcome, hello, hi. Yeah. Me name Equing. I am a kangaroo and I do live streams, and this is one of them. You're watching this. This is happening now. Or now with like a delay of hopefully like less than 5 seconds. I set it to low latency mode. I always set it to low latency mode because I care about you. I'm a magical shape-shifting kangaroo creature and I don't have arms. Or maybe I do. Maybe they're hidden. That's weird. Hang on. I'm resetting the myself. That's good enough, I guess. I have the same background image I used in the stream from a few days ago, because I was gonna change it and then I forgot. I could do that now, though. Why don't I look in my album art folder? I love album art. Album art has... There's a lot of really cool album art out there. Never seen this one before. This one looks a bit weird. Like it was drawn by a literal child. It's on Bandcamp, by the way, but I won't... No, I'm not gonna devote this entire stream to self-promotion. I'm gonna pick something better. How about this one? This one's by Alexi... This is an album cover by Alexi Perala. I like his music a lot. This album came out earlier this year. It's called Dream. It was pretty cool. But yes, hello, it's me, Quink. Here, let me say hello to all of you with my shoulders. Hello. Yeah. I just think it's cute. I think I'm cute. You know who else is cute? I'm gonna point. You are cute. This is me pointing at you. You are cute. And I mean that. You are worthy of attention. Yeah. Actually, I have an animation for that. Yeah. Just a little uppies thing. I love uppies. Uppies are fun. You can pick people up. I think I'm developing a bit of a migraine. Don't have a headache, but I'm having some, like, pre-migraine symptoms. So if I do end up having to cut the stream early, I apologize. Hopefully that won't happen. But at the same time, I kind of expect it to happen, maybe not necessarily during the stream, but at some point in the future, because I've been at my computer all day. I hope that you enjoy this music in the background. It's by Bernd Kistenmacher, who is a German Berlin School artist guy. I turn the music down a bit more, but for some reason the way iTunes works is it does it in increments of 5, and if I turn it down just one more notch, it goes off, because I have it set to 5. Whoa, it's like you're being lifted into space. Maybe that's where I am now. Maybe that's where this image is. Maybe this is space. I'm going to launch myself into space now. Okay, 3, 2, no, grab me, thank you. 3, 2, 1. Bet you didn't expect that, but you should learn to expect nothing from me, because I am Quink, and Quink may or may not be stupid. Have I done anything interesting today? Not really. I did the New York Times crossword. I came this close to finishing it, but there are a few that I'm stumped on and I don't want to have to look up the answers. I know that, like, New York Times have done all this, like, bullshit with the, with, like, trans rights. I don't support that, but the games are fun, and I'm able to access them for free because I can because I have a library card. That's legitimately how I'm able to get the New York Times games. I don't have a subscription, but I have a library card. You know what they say, having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Oh, another music. Yeah. A friend of mine wanted to join, and hopefully they will later. That'll be nice to have someone to converse with. Maybe someone else could join as well. And they will be joining on Discord, which is something that I'm keeping private for now, but I might make it public eventually. Because...
Hello.
Oh my god.
The Smiths are a band.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do. How do you feel?
Awful. Just
That'll be
terrible.
$20.
I don't have $20.
Well. Oh well.
Would you please introduce yourself for the one person viewing this stream right now?
I am Jay. I am the Enigma. I am the Ghost. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Get out of my classroom.
No, you...
Okay.
I need to... Hang on 1 second. I'm streaming my screen into the Discord chat, and I realized I had it set to source, but I'm streaming at 60 frames a second at 1080p, so I had to reduce the Discord stream to 720. It'll be fine.
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah. But yeah, BitGhost and I have been friends for a really long time, and hopefully they will participate in Yappage.
I will try to participate in Yappage. Yapping is yapping. Yapping is a weird thing.
It is a weird thing. Sometimes people just have like they have like a hole in their face, and they can open it and they can make like noises with it, and somehow those noises convey information. I don't know. It's weird.
See, for
As
me,
you can see, I have no mouth,
and you must scream.
No, okay. There we go. That was my scream.
See, here's the thing. When I do stuff, when I exist somehow in this mortal plane, the hole that is my mouth, it does not do anything. It just lets out a, you know?
That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
But then again, I feel like I've noticed that before.
Yeah.
Oh, you may be wondering, what is this that is hovering before me now? This is a beepus, and I will now proceed to open it with my face and then take a drink. There we go.
How does it taste?
Suspiciously like Mr. Pibb.
Huh.
I thought this was a beepus. Maybe it was a Mr. Pibb that they relabeled as beepus. That's not fair.
I knew that they were being shady. I knew they were being shady.
I expected a beepus.
I would like a refund on my bip.
Indeed, I would also like a refund on the beepus.
You know, sometimes I hear the words that come out of my mouth, and I question so many things. So many things.
Hey, Jay, can you do me a favor? Send me a PNG image to represent yourself on the screen.
Oh, okay.
PNG is preferable, but if you don't have one, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and find a thingamabob. Thingamabob, where? Searching through the dark depths of my phone.
In the meantime... Oh, come on, don't do that. In the meantime, BitGhost will be represented by... This picture's way too big.
Damn.
In the meantime, BitGhost will be represented by this persimmon.
Thank you, persimmon.
Yeah. This persimmon will represent BitGhost for the time being. And I have my beepers with me, and I will drink some now. Yeah, it gives me caffeine, even though I've only been awake for like 3 hours, and it's a bit too early for me to be drinking caffeine. But I don't care. I wanted something to drink.
Very fair. Very fair. I mean, I honestly wish that I could have more caffeine, but I cannot at the moment.
Mm.
I will just go ridiculous.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I had a full-on caffeine addiction, where I would always bring in $1.25 to get a soda from the drink machine before class every morning, and if I didn't have that $1.25, I would have an actual panic attack.
Yeah, that sounds like me. That sounds like me. If I had caffeine when I was in high school, I feel like I would have had probably the biggest crash out of my entire existence.
Yeah, that's fair. See, the turning point for me, when I realized that I had been consuming too much, or when I realized that my caffeine tolerance wasn't anywhere near as high as I thought it was the day I bought, I can't remember what it was called. It was a Mountain Dew drink, and it had like a picture of a lion on it. And it was in a silver can, just with like red images, and I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't Gamer Fuel, but I loved Gamer Fuel and Kickstart. This was something even more intense. One can, which was like 16 ounces or something, had 180 milligrams of caffeine, and I drank maybe 2/3 of it, and I had my first ever like severe panic attack.
I sent it may be a square. I apologize, but there I have sent image.
I believe I have been sent a image. Oh my goodness. It is a boy.
I must follow in the footsteps.
Or a friend. I already have an image with this name saved, so I will call it this 2.png. And I will insert this picture now. Where the hell are you?
I will be. I was trying to find it, but I was like, I was trying to find that one, but I'm like, nah. Maybe I could be a little serious. I'm like, nah. That's better.
This is my friend, the squishy autism creature. Give them hugs now, so they will not be sad.
I vibrate.
But it's okay.
Shake like a
we
little
stand
chihuahua.
a vibration queen.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I need to. That was ungodly cringe. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Although it is immortalized forever. So.
Yeah.
Bish. I'm pointing directly at you. Wait, I should point down there. Bish.
Why?
Because.
What did I do?
You be the Bish.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. I think we should get to the meat of the stream. Where I react to shit. Hang on, let me turn my... There we go. Now I'm at a slight angle.
Angle.
Oh, where did you go? Where's my friend? I cannot stream without my friend. come on. OBS changed the way they, like, have these, like, structured or whatever.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and I'm like, why does it look like
I
that?
just updated it today, and that's why I only noticed now. I think I can add a chroma key so I can get rid of the bright purple.
Now, granted, I still have a very, very old, like, I have a version of OBS from, like, a couple of years ago, still on my machine, but...
No, wait.
Oh, would you look at that? I'm your pet.
Yeah. Computer, I would like to give you... No, there we go. Yeah. There we go. You are my small friend.
Yes. You know, it's funny because I'm actually ridiculously short. So it works.
But it is silly.
It works. That's
what
true.
was I looking
it
at?
Is
I was looking at... This is the cartridge I have for playing 78 RPM records, and I was trying to align it properly. I didn't know if I needed to make a custom protractor for it. I don't think I do. I just needed to have it aligned properly.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
it may
good
have
that
already
you know.
been aligned properly. I don't know. But it's definitely more properly aligned now.
I know that mine is going to need alignment when I take it back out of storage, that's for sure.
How dare you put away your turntable, your one method of listening to music?
I know. I have not listened to a single piece of audio since. Wait, what did you say?
I said nothing.
What?
I said nothing.
What? I'm kidding.
You're going insane, Jay. You always do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gaslighting my friend on the stream.
Gaslighting your friend who also will agree. Yeah. Gaslighting your friend who will gaslighting
my friend with Stockholm Syndrome.
Gaslighting my friend. Wait. I'm trying to think of another thing on top. Shoot. Gaslighting my friend at 3 a.m. challenge off the dark web.
Epic. I love the dark web. It makes me feel nothing. But hang on, I'm recropping you so that hopefully these purple backgrounds might go away a bit.
I'm losing my edge.
You are, and it's sad.
I mean, that's just me as a person.
Not that sad. It's fine. Everyone loses their edge at some point. It is a part of life, living.
I mean, yeah, look at Shadow. He lost his edge a while ago. Live and learn.
I don't play Sonic, so I don't really get the joke.
You are banned.
Well, that
Oh no!
This is your stream, Jay. Talk about this album that I've heard, but you haven't.
So, this album is pretty epic, if I must say so myself. Cause this thing right here, the cover art, incredible. It's gorgeous. It's aesthetic. It honestly gives me such good vibes. And okay,
I'm kidding. I have no idea what that was.
I just think it's funny. Just shut up.
I did listen to this album for the first time though yesterday. It's been on my list of stuff I've needed to listen to for a while now, and yeah, it was fucking awesome. It's an Argentinian prog rock album by a band called Invisible. Really good shit. Really good. I've been meaning to get more into Argentine prog rock because there's another couple albums by Argentinian bands on my listen to list. One of whom is, they're right next to each other, Ceru Girán and La Máquina de Hacer Pájaros. Both bands with Charlie Garcia as a member. I've heard 2 of his solo albums and they're great, but I haven't heard any of his bands. And this Ceru Girán album is supposed to be really good. I love the cover art though, because it's like a tabloid.
Yeah, no, honestly, I love that aesthetic. That's actually a really cool aesthetic for an album cover.
Oh, I have other shit on this list that I forgot I added. The Hyperdrama. I haven't listened to this one yet. I did, though.
Hi, veteran.
I listened to the single when it came out, Generator. That was an incredible song. It felt like one of their older tracks, and it was awesome. Dolby Atmos mix was really good, too. Veteran, that's another one I need to hear, because
it's always good to see JPEG Mafia.
In general, I need... Okay, most of the time it's really good to see JPEG Mafia.
Yes, most of the time.
Most of the time. I haven't heard this album, but I need to get more into hip-hop. I don't listen to hip-hop as much as I probably should. And I have a feeling I would like this album because I like experimental hip-hop. I love Death Grips, so I like industrial and experimental hip-hop styles.
Yeah, no,
also,
honestly,
there's a track on this album called I Cannot Fucking Wait Until Morrissey Dies.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Pimp a Butterfly. I haven't heard that one yet either, and it's literally the number one highest. It's literally the number 1 highest rated album on this site.
It is, and for good reason. It is just incredible. It really is.
I don't doubt that. I really don't. It's just I'm terrible at getting myself to listen to stuff. I haven't heard every album in the top 10. I've heard like 2/3 of them, I think. OK Computer, yeah. In Rainbows, yes. Wish You Were Here, yes. Court of the Crimson King, yes. Good Kid, Mad City, no. Dark Side of the Moon, yes. Kid A, yes. Mad Villainy, no. Loveless, no. This is another album I need to listen to. Fuck it, I'm adding it to the list right now. Just because I do need to listen to it at some point.
Yeah, no,
because it's Loveless. I haven't heard a single note of anything from Loveless ever, and if I have, I didn't recognize it. I've got this Woob album because it's supposed to be a really good ambient dub record. Penguin. Yeah, this label is pretty interesting. I haven't listened to anything from it, but it's called Emit with a colon instead of an I. But like all the albums are named just the artist and then the randomly assigned catalog number, and then the image for the album cover is always just a nature picture. Like this one's by Gas, but it's not Wolfgang Vogt Gas, it's Matt Jarvis Gas. And the picture here, yeah, I haven't heard it, but apparently it's not a bad album. I should put this on my list as well. If it isn't already on there, it's going on there. Gas 0095 by Matt Jarvis. And I think the picture's like, I know it's a deep sea creature. What's it? I can't remember what it's called. A stenophore or something? I love deep sea creatures like this. It's like, I mean, sometimes they're terrifying, but other times they're just beautiful, like this. Look at this.
We have another friend.
Whomst hath join. Oh, it's
invading your
Viv.
stream.
Hello. I'm
I'm
live.
invading your stream.
Hello. Hello.
There's a hot babe on your stream now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a stenophore. They look like that, and one of them graces the cover art of Gas 0095. I think it is a beautiful image, and I think stenophores look really cool. But yeah, Woob is on the list. There's a lot of Klaus Schulze that I need to listen to. One moment, Viv.
What?
I think you could turn the sensitivity on your mic up a bit.
Oh yeah, hang on.
Yeah. I have this specific Klaus Schulze album on there, even though there's like a lot that I still need to get to. And this one that I put this one specifically on the list because it's ambient trance. And I love ambient trance. I haven't explored much of ambient trance, but trance music's pretty cool. Steven Wilson, I haven't heard any of his solo stuff. And actually, there's a separate section on this list for albums I started and never finished. I started listening to In Absentia by Porcupine Tree. And I was enjoying it, it's just I stopped because I needed to do something else and then I didn't start, and it's been 2 months. That's just something that happens to me. Is I'll start listening to an album and then I'll get distracted, or maybe it's not for me, and then I'll stop. And instead of finishing it, I'll just let it fester. I haven't finished songs from The Big Chair either. I got through like all of side A and then quit. I'm trying to think. What's the album that was on the? I remove albums from the list once I listen to them. But I think the album that was on here the longest before I listened to it, it might have been something by David Bowie, and it was fairly recently. Okay, my recent album listens. I listened to Scary Monsters. I finally got around to listening to Scary Monsters. It's a really good album. Not my favorite from Bowie, but it's a really good album.
It's still a great Bowie project, regardless. Not the best, not the
by
worst,
Genesis
but still
was on. Outside by Genesis was. Sorry, Genesis is down here. Outside by Bowie was on the list for like a full year. And I listened to it earlier this month. That's a really good album.
I'm gonna mute really quick. I gotta get food.
You must eat the food, but when you get back, tell us what the food is.
You must eat the food, then hold the food.
Yeah.
Why do they call it oven?
I don't know. I think they call it oven because you oven the cold food of how hot to eat the food. Coolest thing about Outside is that this track, No Control, it's a really good track, one of my favorites off the album. It's in the SpongeBob musical.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure he cameoed in one of the episodes.
He did, and he was a SpongeBob fan, and before he passed away, he rewrote the lyrics for No Control for use in the SpongeBob musical. Like most of the other tracks on the soundtrack were written by other artists specifically for the musical, but David Bowie was like dying, so he didn't write anything new, but he did rewrite No Control. I haven't listened to it, and I probably won't, just because I don't really care about musicals. What else have I listened to recently? Some of these don't have ratings, and that's like because I only listen to one track or a few tracks, and not the whole thing. Like this one I only rated because there's a killer Guestcom track on it called Viral. I've been trying to get back into Guestcom.
Is it Viral Rival?
Not Viral Rival. Viral Rival is the Autechre remix. Viral is the original track.
Oh, okay.
It's credited to Advance versus Guestcom, but Advance is Rob Hall, who is a member of Guestcom, so it's basically just the Guestcom track.
It's a guest contract with extra steps.
Yeah, it's a guest contract with one extra name attached to it. Robert Fripp, God Save the Queen, Under Heavy Manners. It's like a double album, except the double is like, side 1 is called God Save the Queen, side 2 is called Under Heavy Manners. I'm a bit ambivalent about Fripp as a solo artist, at least from what I've heard, just because it seemed like he didn't really know what he was doing. If his goal for like an album like Exposure, to me, it didn't feel like this was a Robert Fripp solo project as much as it was like a demo tape of sorts. So it's like, look at all these types of music that I have produced, and listen to all these different vocalists that are really cool, and all these sounds that I can make, etc. It feels like a demo, not really an album to be listened to. But that's what it was released as. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's not like a King Crimson album. You know, I mean, clearly not, because it's not a King Crimson album, but it's not even... It feels just like a hodgepodge. Yeah, Alexi Perala released a new album at the end of last month, and it's fine. It feels the same as the previous album, and the album before that, and the album before that. They're all fine. It's just, you know, I know what to expect from an album in this series. It's going to be 5 tracks total, 60 minutes total, each track is 12 minutes long, and it's just going to be drones. But it's very calming. I've been listening to them when I get migraines.
Yeah. That sounds nice.
I listened to this one recently as well. Live Quadraphonic by Suzanne Ciani. Hang on, I should make Jay's avatar disappear because they're not here right now.
I am observant.
Okay, you're back.
Yes, I will be on and off muted, but
Yeah, sorry.
I will be here in spirit.
That's a good philosophy to have.
Also, burger
Burger.
and ribeye.
I love burger.
Burger.
Yeah, I listened to this one recently, and it was pretty good. I hadn't listened to anything by Suzanne Ciani before this. Techmoan actually made a video about it when the album came out, because it was the first like new quadraphonic record to be released since like 1980 or something. And this came out in 2018, and if you bought it, it came with its own little like a circuit board, which was the decoder. So you plugged in your stereo output from your turntable, and it would decode it and output it to quadraphonic. And apparently it was quite effective, at least according to Techmoan. The album's very experimental. It's basically just her soloing on her Buchla 223. Which is cool. Like, obviously. But, I did listen to the quadraphonic mix, because it's on Apple Music. You can stream it in Apple Music, in surround. And it was pretty cool. Amen Andrews. I've been slowly going through Amen Andrews. At least the EPs he's released. I haven't listened to the albums. Amen Andrews is Luke Vibert, under one of his many pseudonyms. So I've listened to Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, which just leaves Volume 5, and then he has an album called Amen Andrews vs. Spackhand Luke. Spackhand Luke is also Luke Vibert, so it's Luke Vibert versus Luke Vibert.
Nobody, not even yourself.
Luke Vibert dubstep album, evidently. Probably won't be too bad.
Inside you there are 2 wolves, and they fight each other. And they are both the same person.
Inside you there are 2 wolves, one is gay, the other is gay. They are being gay. Oh yeah, more guest com, because I listened to It took me a long time to listen to this one, or at least listen to it in full. Keenel, which is the third Guesscom EP. It was alright. It had some good tracks and some less good tracks. And also, the Autechre Remix EP is awesome. It doesn't sound a lick like the original. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they're just Autechre tracks, like, labeled as being remixes of Guesscom. But I really liked it. Especially the first track. This sounds like something that could have come out on, like, Tri Repete or, like, En Vain. Really good shit.
What is the album art on that?
Magic.
Honestly, that looks really dope. Like, I love the cover art of that.
I can look it up on Discogs. What's weird is that the original Keenel EP came out on Scam Records, because that's the label Guesscom are signed to, but then this remix EP came out on Warp.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's...
Actually, it might be images of, like, the packaging for the Keenel EP, because I'm pretty sure the CD version that came out was just wrapped in bubble wrap.
Oh, that's actually smart.
So it's like a direct continuation of the artwork from the Keenel EP on Guesscom, from Guesscom, and apparently the inside also has artwork. So that's the inside of the sleeve.
Damn.
Printed inside.
It's cool as hell.
Where's there's the Guesscom. Yeah, comes packaged in bubble wrap instead of a regular record sleeve. Both sides end in locked grooves.
Yeah.
The first two Guesscom EPs listed the personnel involved in the credits. None of the others have, because apparently it's like a contractual thing. Autechre, Rob Brown and Sean Booth are signed to Warp Records, and their contract is exclusive. So unless they get like special licensing, they can't release anything else on another label under the name Autechre. But they do so. But they are allowed to do so as Guesscom. But they're not allowed to put any credits on it. So they're not allowed contractually to credit who does what in Guesscom. But these are just some of the known contributors. There's probably more. And they've even said in interviews that, like, the Guesscom project, because it's anonymous, it allows them to put EPs out by other people that don't even involve them.
Okay. I gotta say, looking at, that and the packaging, it reminds me of what I have that I still need to digitize. Because seeing the packaging and how it... Shopwell.
Oh yeah, I have a copy of that one.
I still need to rip my copy because that cover art was so weird.
Yeah, I put a picture of the cover from your version that you sent me onto Discogs. Let me find it real quick. There it is. So that's Jay's copy. And that's my copy, which looks like... This is actually my copy. I took this picture. It's just a white sleeve with the stamp of an old supermarket. But Jay's copy has glitter glue and just a pasted picture of the logo instead of a stamp. But
which makes me go like, what?
Yeah, I did get them to check the matrices on their copy and compare it to mine. They have the same matrices. So my guess is that there's nothing different about the music. It's the same pressing. The only difference is the sleeve.
Yeah, no, I still need to... we should honestly compare mine at some point.
Yeah,
I gotta pull that guy out.
Yeah, one of the members of this... It's an industrial noise album. Both sides are around 30 minutes long, and it's just noise and, like, industrial guitar and, like, metal shit. And one of the members of this band was Moby. You know, the guy who made, like, Drop a Beat and Porcelain and Honey and Southside.
Yeah, you know, the fun stuff.
Hang on. When I was searching for it, I saw this real quick. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, I have no idea what the fuck this is. It came up when I searched for Shopwell. DVD, Moby Presents Alien Sex Party. Not to be confused with Ninja Sex Party. Oh, it's that's what it is. There's a DVD.
Oh, live.
It's
Shopwell.
a DVD, and on the DVD, there's video footage of Shopwell performing, which is on YouTube. Because one of the other members of this band, Paul Yates, uploaded it himself. It's like sped up weirdly for some reason, from like 1 to like 1.4, and it's literally just like at the Yale Lock Factory building. That's basically it. It's like Moby and Paul Yates, and another guy from the band just banging shit on the roof of an abandoned building. And also, like, on the inside, like, one floor beneath, like, the top floor of said abandoned building, which is basically where the album was recorded. And it was literally just them with, like, some guitars, some amplifiers, banging shit. And also I've seen the video. At the end of the video, it ends with a solid 30 seconds of Moby pissing. Literally, it's just like the guy holding the camera follows him to the toilet and he takes a piss.
You know what's funny? For some reason, as soon as you said piss, I immediately thought of challenge pissing.
I don't get it, but okay.
It's the Big Bill Hell video.
What?
You never seen the infomercial, the fake infomercial of Big Bill Hell's cars? It's like, fuck you, Baltimore!
Oh, I have.
Yeah,
I know I know the fuck you, Baltimore. I just haven't seen the whole video in like years upon years.
I just think of challenge pissing. That's fucking stupid on my end.
But yeah, Guesscom are pretty cool. They released the first EP in '94. This one actually does have contributor information for it. Around the sleeve. Sean Booth, Rob Brown, Daryl Fitton, Rob Hall, and Daniel72. That's my name. My legal last name is 72.
How does it feel?
No information at this moment in time. With, for some reason, Enye's here and here.
Dang.
This was only the second release on Scam Records, and the first was from 3 years earlier. It was like... I like to imagine that from the period 1991 to 1994, people were like, was Scam actually a scam? It's like they put out one EP, and then they released nothing for 3 years, and then came back with Guesscom and Bola and Freeform and Boards of fucking Canada.
It's just like, we'll leave you in suspense. You'll never know.
Yeah.
But now we do know.
The Lego Feet EP is pretty good. It's on streaming, remastered. But it's not like an exact duplicate, because they had to literally reconstruct it from the tapes that they recorded it on. And it's ever so slightly different than the original vinyl. They've only put out 2 albums, like proper studio albums, even though some of these definitely qualify as LP length. Hang on. Why don't I add a window, capture, and stream something specific in one moment. Once I get it configured.
Get excited, chat.
Do it. Are you doing it?
Hype.
Are you excited? If you're excited, type egg in the chat.
Yeah,
And then
come on, give us some eggs.
And then Egbert will come to your house. That's what will happen.
Yes. We'll deliver him right to your house.
Yeah. Here we go. Apple Music reveal. This is what I'm using to play the music. Here's this. This is the song. It's called... Oh, it's from this... It's a compilation. But it's by Bernd Kistenmacher. But I wanted to stream this because I have Guestcom shit here. Not all the album art shows for some reason, but like Key Nell EP, 38 minutes. Mini disc, that's a full-length album, definitely. I like this EP. It's more of like a sound, like music art piece than an album proper. Because what you're supposed to do is just... If you bought it on mini disc, you would have the true experience. I mean, you can have the true experience on streaming now, but the original true experience was to get this album on mini disc, pop it in your mini disc player, and then hit shuffle, and then it would shuffle all the tracks completely seamlessly with no gaps. So it would be like a sort of pseudo-random experience every time. And that's how you're supposed to listen to it.
A concept like that's pretty nice.
You can listen to it in album order, but you'll notice that, like, there's 7 tracks called Cut Begin, and 4 tracks called Dan Dan Dan, 3 tracks named Vermin, 4 tracks named Crepe, etc. And so they're all like one piece if you listen to them together, but they're split so that when you put it on shuffle, you'll get a random piece of the track in between 2 other random pieces. There's always the chance that you can get like two parts of the same composition randomly next to each other. And there's that and this, which are both remix EPs. This has 3 remixes by Autechre. And then there's ISSSA, or ISSA, or whatever, which Autechre actually played live in the 90s. This came out in 2003, but there's recordings of them playing live at, like, it might have been Coachella or something. Because they did play Coachella at some time in the 90s. But it was at a music festival. They played this track in, like, 1998, 1999. And it didn't come out until 2003. And they did later confirm that at least one of the members of Autechre made most of this. And then A1D1 is considered their only other full-length album, but it was also released as 2 separate EPs, A1B1 and C1D1, and all the tracks on it are basically plunderphonics, where it's like chopped up early house records, mostly. I mean, it's pretty fun. There's some interesting ideas on here. I like this final track, D1, which is built mostly on a song called No Way Back by Adonis, which is one of the earliest, like, acid house tracks. It's from 1986. Pretty cool. Skull Snap I haven't heard. Okay, I did hear bits of it. It's basically like an instrumental hip-hop EP. And no one knows anything about it. Although I do love this logo they came up with for it.
That logo is pretty sick.
Guestcom at the end of the day, Autechre as well, but Guestcom and Autechre were both rooted in graffiti. Sean Booth and Rob Brown met each other through the graffiti tagging scene, and then they discovered that they had similar tastes in music, and we're like, why don't we make music together? I mean, look at this. This back sleeve is literally just like local mates, and it's a list of their names as like graffiti tags.
It's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure they also did that for the Lego Feet EP. No, where's Cam? Yeah, the Lego Feet. That's definitely a graffiti tag.
Yeah.
Doesn't say who designed it, but that's just how they met. And they were very involved in the graffiti tagging scene in the late 80s. I just realized I wasn't streaming my Firefox for that. So you saw nothing.
Ah, damn. Oh.
But I was talking about, like... I love this song. Look at how graffiti this whole thing is. This is what I was talking about. I was talking about this. Just the fact that even into the mid 90s, like full into Autechre and Guesscom shit, they were still like hanging on to those graffiti and hip hop roots. I mean, they still are doing that now. They're doing like turntablism or turntablism-like things in their recent live sets, and it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. It is pretty cool.
Excuse me. Oh. I will say I have a few more minutes, but I am excited to be in here still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is fun, hopefully.
It is very fun. It is taking my mind away from the world, and I'm able to just be my goofy ass self.
That's always a nice thing. We stand a goofy queen king. They.
Hey girl.
A goofy non-binary monarch.
I still just love hey girl. I mean they. It's still, I don't care how old I get, it's just still funny.
Fun music. I love this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for some reason I opened Sean Booth's thing. This is the only social media he uses. It's Mastodon. Heard a thing on UK radio earlier saying kids only start going out to play on their own at around 11 years old. I was like, what the fuck? And then a poll, ? Compact cassette, vinyl record, compact disc. 176 people voted, and they voted compact disc.
Fair enough.
What was the reason for this poll, I wonder? He doesn't post very often, and he has a thing set up where, like, all of his posts automatically delete themselves after 7 days. So he's posted shit, and then it is gone in a week, so if you weren't there to witness it...
If you weren't there to witness it, then oh well,
Then
too bad, so sad. Fuck off!
Oh, I was looking at the phonology of the Hittite language.
Oh?
It's been extinct for thousands of years. Specifically, this many years, like literally over 3,000 years. But it's the earliest attested Indo-European language, and it has some sounds in it, these, that,
oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, it proved the existence of a theory that someone had about Indo-European, but wasn't able to prove until Hittite was discovered, that there were consonants that were probably pronounced at the back of the throat in Proto-Indo-European that were lost in almost every language that descended from Proto-Indo-European, but it changed the vowels. And it did so in different ways depending on the branch and the language. And this wasn't proven true until Hittite was discovered and deciphered. And then other related languages to Hittite, like Luwian, were also deciphered, and they had those back of the throat sounds. It's called the laryngeal theory because they were pronounced at the back of the throat. It was like... Usually there's considered to be 3 that are like solid. There might be a 4th as well. But there's 3 that we know for certain existed. We can't be certain on how they were pronounced because there's no written record of Proto-Indo-European. But I think like the convention is that this first one, H1, was like a standard English H, like, and then H2 was probably like a pharyngealized or uvular sound, like h or ch, and then H3 was like a voiced and rounded sound, like a w. And what this did, H1 was basically like a neutral sound, but it lengthened any vowels around it when it disappeared. H2 colored the vowels A, and then H3 colored the vowels O. So, because the differences between the vowels in different Indo-European descended languages, there was this theory that there must have been sounds like that in Proto-Indo-European that disappeared, and it wasn't conclusively proven until the Anatolian languages were discovered, and they were the first branch to split from Proto-Indo-European, and that was pretty early on, so they kept those sounds. So Proto-Indo-European pes, Hittite pax, English fi, Sanskrit pati, Latin pascere, Greek patenomai. So the sound disappeared, but it changed this vowel. There's also behur, Hittite pahur, Luwian pahur, English fire, Tocharian puar, that's another extinct Indo-European branch, Greek pur. So yeah, I fucking love shit like this.
Oh no, dude! Listen, every time I get to hear you talk about linguistics, it makes me so happy.
Well, I do that on my streams a lot. You should watch them.
Yes.
You who are watching, you should watch more of my streams if you like things. Yeah. How long have I been on? About an hour. I'm gonna keep going because I haven't yapped enough. I haven't yapped myself dry yet.
That being said, unfortunately, I do need to head out for the evening.
Yeah.
But it has been a pleasure joining, and I hope that eventually this squishy, can join again at some point.
Yeah. I very much enjoyed having you be here. Please promote yourself now.
My name is Slim Shady. No, my name is Jay, Bit Ghost. I make music sometimes. I'll eventually put out a new album, hopefully this year. Bit Ghost on socials, baby. Bit Ghost Audio on socials. Quank, gay person.
Yeah.
Love gay person. You're awesome.
You
Thank you for
awesome.
having me.
You are welcome.
I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
You're all gay.
And there they go. Please make sure to follow my friend on social media and listen to their music. Maybe if you listen to it now, they will start making more of it. Anyway. Wait, you're not here anymore. Go away. Please. I say lightheartedly. Oh, I still have my beepers with me. I should take a sippy. Delicious. I love music. But yeah, back to me yapping about linguistic. These are. I mean, this Wikipedia article has charts showing some proposed reflexes of these lost laryngeals. Specifically in Hittite, because that's the only language that kept those sounds for the most part. So we have nwe, avam in Sanskrit, noe in ancient Greek, but it became unkis in Proto-Germanic. So this H3, that's how I pronounce it. It's definitely a voiced and labialized sound. So it's like a and it colored the vowels to be more like O or U. And some languages lost it. Proto-Germanic turned it into like a different sound. Yeah. Unhwe became ungis. Unk in Old English. Unk status. And then we have guiwos, divas in Sanskrit, guiwus in Latin. And then Proto-Germanic quiquas, and that's the ancestor, I think, of the English word quick. Yeah, Old English quick, Old Norse kvikr. Yeah. But apparently in Albanian, there are a minority view proposes that some instances of word initial H continue a laryngeal consonant. So the examples it gives are horgis, which means testicles, apparently. Horgis, testicles, Albanian herde, Greek orkis. And then head in Proto-Indo-European, meaning to eat. Albanian ha, ancient Greek edo. It could be, but then again, it's not conclusively proven, and that's where this H4 comes in. It says here, some scholars suggest the existence of a fourth consonant H4, which differs from H2 in not being reflected as Anatolian ch, but being reflected due to the exclusion of all other laryngeals as Albanian H when word initial before an originally stressed vowel. Do your own research, is what I'm saying. I don't even know, so I should do my own research. But at the same time, I'm lazy. But the point is, in the various daughter languages, these laryngeals disappeared, but they changed the vowels. And the one branch exception to that rule is Anatolian, which all of the Anatolian languages are extinct now. But the most famous member of that group was Hittite. But there's also Luwian and Lycian and Lydian and many others. It's generally agreed that this was the first Indo-European branch to split from Proto-Indo-European. So like a group of people who spoke Proto-Indo-European migrated to another region really early on, and their language continued to evolve until it turned into this, while others remained in like a more centralized group of people speaking the same language, which continued to evolve over time, of course. As all languages do, languages are never static. Languages are always changing. That's why you hear all these English slang words popping up constantly. The internet just sped that process up a bit, but it's the same sort of thing. And just think about it, like there are some English words that are really common now that weren't being used at all maybe 100 years ago, even 50 years ago. Like cool. I know the word cool came from AAVE, and now basically everyone uses it. So that was sometime in like the 50s or the 60s or something that the word cool entered the broader English lexicon. That's how language change works. Language change is happening all the time, we just don't always notice it as much as we notice it now because of the internet. I love music, it is fun. Yeah. One moment, sorry. Yeah, I have a cue set up so it'll keep playing music. because this album is almost over. In like 6 minutes it'll end. But anyway. Extinction. Anatolia was heavily Hellenized following the conquest of Alexander the Great. Blah, blah, blah. But okay, several ancient Greek words are suggested to be Anatolian borrowings. For example, Apollon, Doric Apellon, Cypriot Apellon, from Apellion, as in Hittite Apallionas. In Hittite, there's a sound here which is like an S with a little thingy on it. Normally in transcriptions of cuneiform writing, that's pronounced sh, like in Akkadian, and Hittite was written in Akkadian cuneiform, but Hittite didn't actually have that as a native sound, so anytime it's written out like this, just know it's pronounced s. Okay, then we have depas, from hieroglyphic Luwian, depas. The word for ivory, elipas, from Hittite, lachpa. Itself from Mesopotamia, cognate, Phoenician, alup, Egyptian, rabu. I think the word ivory itself comes from ancient Egyptian, like as a word. And yeah, the word for elephant comes from the ancient Greek word for ivory, because that's where ivory comes from. I shouldn't have to say this, but ivory's bad. Don't get natural ivory, because it is bad for the elephants. Okay, then we have molybdos for lead, Mycenaean moriwodo, morwoyo, dark, as in Lydian mariudas, the dark ones. So the ancient Greek word for lead was molybdos, but there's a separate chemical element called molybdenum, which isn't lead, it's a separate chemical element. That's weird. How names for chemical elements got their names from other chemical elements. I'm pretty sure platinum is the same, because platinum... I know that the Latin word for silver is argentum, hence the chemical symbol Ag, but in Spanish, for example, it's plata. So in Argentina you have the Rio Plata, which is also known as the River Plate, and the word plate comes from that word in Latin that it ultimately descended from, which meant silver. But they applied that name to platinum when it was discovered, which was abundant in South America. So the name platinum comes from a word meaning silver, and the element molybdenum comes from the ancient Greek word for lead. I'm pretty sure that the symbol for lead is PB, right? What does PB mean? I should know this. I feel like I should know this. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to look it up, because I don't know the actual origin off the top of my head. What is the name of the chemical element? Possibly from a Proto-Indo-European root meaning to flow for its low melting point. Oh, there we go. Lists of chemical element name etymologies. That's convenient. We have beryllium, boron, carbon. Lead is like 80-something, right? Yeah, 82. Lead comes from Anglo-Saxon. Symbol PB is from the Latin name plumbum. There it is. Still visible in English plumbing. And also in plumb bob, which is a big lead weight. That's what a plumb bob is. Because it was historically made of weight. The molybdenum, from Greek molybdos, lead, due to confusion with lead or galena. Interesting. I do like the... I love etymology, because I'm a linguistics nerd, you can tell. But, like, yeah, I don't know enough about the etymology of chemical elements, and I feel like I should study this table deeply once I get off stream. Anyway, apparently this word may come from an Anatolian language. So molybdenum, molybdos. Obruza, vessel for refining gold, like a crucible. From Hittite, huprushi, vessel. And then tolupe, ball of wool. From Hittite, talupa. Or cuneiform Luwian, talupa. Cuneiform and hieroglyphic Luwian, aren't they the same language? I feel like they should be. They're just, one is written using the hieroglyphs, like this. They had their own hieroglyphs. And the other was written using cuneiform. But it's a separate sub-branch than Hittite. Hittite's in a separate sub-branch than Luwian. Well, here's an example. The following example sentence demonstrates several common features of Luwian. A final verb, the particle chain headed by the conjunction a, the quotive clitic wa, and the preverb sara, adding directionality to the main verb awiha. Awa apin watani ati bihami sara awiha. And I came over glorified from those lands. That's what it means. Sorry, I'm gonna... Sorry, the playlist ended. Hang on. I'm gonna play this song next. No, don't do that. Play this song. I think this will be a good song to play. But there is something else I wanted to play in the background, which I may start in a mo. Luwian is pretty interesting. It's not my forte, just because I don't know a whole lot about these languages, but I just find them really interesting. And Nardi made a video about this a while ago. Luwian may or may not have been the language spoken by the Trojans. So that's pretty interesting. The society that was toppled with the giant wooden horse. Trojan language, there we go. Not certain that there was one single language used in the city at the time. Trojan script. Depiction of an inscription found on the terracotta vase used by the royal palace. Yeah, no clue. It kind of looks like Greek, but it also kind of looks like anything else. It could be literally anything. Claimed readings of inscriptions. According to Ukrainian linguist Yuri Mosenkis' theory that the Trojan script represents an early and archaic variant of Linear A, inscription number 2444 may read Kupa Aroma, Kupa Aroma. A better source needed, it says. That's something you should always take notice of when reading Wikipedia, is things like citation needed and unreliable source or whatever. I love music. Music, awesome. And this music makes me feel like I am floating in the space of time. Yippee. Yeah. Hang on, let me do my little arm thing. Yeah. That was fun. But yeah, they had their own hieroglyphs. Let us take a look at some of these hieroglyphs, shall we? Okay, so we have, some interesting looking ones. This one's a ghost. That's Bit Ghost. I should have used this to represent Bit Ghost while they were on the stream. We have this spade looking thing. This one's like a knife, and this one's like a high-heeled shoe. And then we have ick. Have a cow with lines in his face, cow with lines underneath his face. Not sure what that is. This one's like a mitten, or like an old-fashioned stocking. Oh, that's a big, like, deer with big horns. And we have all of these just to represent the sound Sa. Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5. Just like all those movies with that guy who plays the game. I haven't seen it. So this one's a bagel. This one's a rainbow with no colors. This one's a lice comb. Okay, that's a triangle, and that is like some kind of horn. And then we have this weird diamond. Okay, then we have a shoe and another shoe, or this one's more like a sock. And two hands doing that. I'm assuming it's a bit like Egyptian, where a symbol could stand for a syllable, or it could stand for what it literally represented. Okay, here we are. List of Anatolian ideograms. These are things that represented concepts or objects, but for some reason, the naming convention they use isn't the name that they had in the Luwian language. It's the name it's in Latin. It's the Latin word. So this is avis, and this is also avis, and this is audire, to hear, and annus, year, and then anything that's a combination is like this plus this. So capere is that, and then capere plus scalprum. And then caput, which is head. Capra, which is a goat or a ram. Centum, that's 100. Ego, I. Equus, horse. Eunuchus, eunuch. They had a separate symbol, apparently. Like a separate character to represent someone who had their balls cut off. Femina, which is an egg. The symbol for woman is just an egg. Oh, I love this part of the song when the sequence comes in. We have lingua, which is tongue. Lingua plus clavus. Sorry, I'm vibing because I love to vibe. Oh, the symbol for mother, mater, is also just an egg. So, women and mothers equals egg. What's the Latin word for egg? It's ovus. They don't have a symbol for ovus, but they do have ovis, which is a sheep or ram or something. Bes is foot. Panis is bread, not to be confused with penis. So panis is bread. Panis scutella. It's like a bagel with a thing underneath it. Super, which is above. And sub is below. Ru. Yeah, I am Ru. Hello. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. We have Vastus. I don't know what that means. This kind of looks like a mailbox. Maybe Vastus is mailbox. It's the same symbol as Vacuus. Wonder what that is. Maybe it's a vacuum. Onus is like one. Orbs. I should know what orbs is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Terra is earth. Scutella. I'm not sure what that is, but that just looks like a bagel to me. I would like to eat this bagel. Or is it the bagel? Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. There was a bonus 2 weird 2 is a conventional. I won't lie, I thought this was a computer virus. I went into that expecting that to be like, oh, was there a computer virus that used like Hittite or Luwian hieroglyphs to break a computer's text encoding or something? Apparently no, it's just a specific symbol with a specific meaning. Basalt bowl with engraved inscription in Luwian hieroglyphs found in Babylon, southern Iraq. Now in the collection of the British Museum. Gross. Basalt, I'm pretty sure it comes from volcanoes. I went to the Natural History Museum in Washington, D.C. a few years ago, and there were some... I got a picture of it, and I think the caption underneath said it was like commemorative medallions or something from Rome or from Mount Vesuvius made out of basalt. Some were from like the 1800s and some were from like way earlier with like Latin text on them. But they were just like stamped into the still molten basalt before it cooled and then sold as like a token, a tchotchke, essentially. So yes, this language exists. What else was I looking at? I still have the Serere language thing that I was looking at in my stream a few days ago. And Nuristani. I still don't know enough about Nuristani. I won't lie, I haven't been reading these tabs for very long. I had them open, but like I've been doing a lot of other shit on my PC. Phonologies of the world's languages. I love phonology. It's just, like, two of my favorite topics in linguistics are historical linguistics and phonology. And phonology, like, those are my two favorites. Just the sounds used in languages and also the history of those languages. How did they evolve? Where did they come from? Katnai Jo. Ancient Greek phonology is interesting. Triads of stops. Here's a recording of someone speaking ancient Greek.
Epa, epa, eba.
Thank you, Mr. Person. And then dental stops.
Tesis, tasis, dasus.
And then velar stops.
Cora, cora, agora.
You can hear that there is a difference. These are the words. These are the differences in the sounds. Ancient Greek used to have a W, but then it lost it. Like really early on. The dialect that Homer spoke lost that W sound really early on. But other ancient Greek dialects kept it for longer. I think the Doric dialect kept it the longest, and it ended up like... It didn't disappear, but it's not a W sound anymore. It's a V. But, so, the one ancestor language of Doric Greek, which is called, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Taconian still has that V reflex of the W sound that ancient Doric Greek used to have, but Attic and Ionic, which became like the standard modern Greek, lost it way before. So, it's listed here, and it had its own letter. It looked like the letter F, and it's the direct ancestor of the letter F. Okay, Old Attic inscriptional forms. Euhorkon. Later, Euhorkon. So yeah, they used to have an H, but then that got lost. Ancient Greek doesn't have that sound anymore. Parhedroi, later paredroi, sitting beside. Proseteko, later proseteko, proseketo, let him be present. There's also Elhai, which means yea.
Yeah.
And Tahos, meaning peacock. So, and also the letter zeta didn't always just make the z sound. It was probably also either a z or zd. So we have Zeus. In modern Greek, it's Zeus, but in archaic Greek, it was Zeus, Attic, Zeus, Koine, in modern Greek, Zeus, etc. What trips me up the most about ancient Greek is the tone. Ancient Greek had pitch accent. It wasn't a tonal language like Mandarin, but it had a pitch accent, and I still struggle with it. So we have, okay, examples of W in Homer. So words from, like, the text that Homer wrote and then reconstructed with that W pronunciation. So we have eni oiko, which was originally eni woikoi. Epas sepos, epas huepos, kaid menanpantes, kaiwid menapantes. And apogeo, which was originally apogeo. Interesting. And then they had vowels, obviously, which included this sound, ü. It was like a... It's like the German, what are we bouncing about today, lad? We're bouncing about ancient Greek phonology. I had some friends on earlier, and that was fun, and we talked about music, but now I'm talking about linguistics. That's what's bouncing about today. So ancient Greek had this sound ü, but they did also have u, like in English or other languages. I, u, u, e, o, a. Those were the sounds, and they had separate letters to indicate those long vowels. So eta, nowadays it just makes the sound e, but back then it was eh. And then omega today makes the same sound as the letter omicron, but back then it was o. Whereas omicron was o. O, 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 o. And then e, eh. That's the difference between epsilon and eta. Okay. Spelling, blah, blah, blah. Accent, there we are. Ancient Greek had a pitch accent, unlike the stress accent of modern Greek and English. One mora of a word was accented with high pitch. A mora is a unit of vowel length. In ancient Greek, short vowels have one mora, and long vowels and diphthongs have two morae. Thus, a one mora vowel could have accent on its one mora, and a two mora vowel could have accent on either of its two morae, etc. So, examples of pitch accent. A slice was tomos, but sharp was tomos. And then I go, emi, which, not to be confused with either, which was ete. And then emi, which was I am. Emi is I go, emi is I am. And then we have ete, you were, versus ete, or. And then oikoi, houses, versus oikoi, at home. Accent marks were never used until around 200 BC. There are three: the acute, circumflex, and grave. The shape of the circumflex is a merging of the acute and grave. So this one is like a rising tone. Accent is high, grave is low, or falling, or something like that. Estiti kalon, there is something beautiful. Kalon is at the end of a sentence. Kalon esti, it is beautiful. Esti here is an enclitic. And then kalon kaya gaton, good and beautiful. Interesting. There were many sound changes in between ancient Greek and modern Greek, to the point where they are different languages. Fun fact, ancient Greek and modern Greek are not the fucking same. I love this song. It is a fun and a good. Dionysius Thrax. Ars Grammatica, Art of Grammar in ancient Greek. There are 24 letters from A to O. Letters are called elements of speech because they have an order and classification. Of these, 7 are vowels. They are called vowels because they form a complete sound by themselves. 2 of the vowels are long and 2 are short, and 3 are two-timed. They are called two-timed since they can be lengthened and shortened. So this is like an ancient Greek grammar. That's pretty interesting. So, grammata estin exitesra hapoto amecrito o ta grammata de ota kai stoikeia caleta diato eken stoikonti na kai taxin. I'm bad at reading ancient Greek. What's the relation between ancient Greek and Latin? They both derive from Proto-Indo-European. Yeah, that's the closest they get, is that they both derive from Proto-Indo-European. But other than that, they are separate languages in two separate sub-branches of Indo-European. Greek is a Hellenic language, Latin is an Italic language. They're in two separate branches, they evolve differently with different features. That's the closest they get, is that they both descended from Proto-Indo-European. Latin had an interesting phonology. It's got two different popular pronunciations. There was like the original pronunciation of classical Latin, and then there's the ecclesiastical pronunciation, which is basically just Italian. I'm not kidding. Like, ecclesiastical Latin is literally just Latin in a but you're reading it like it's Italian. So in Old Latin this would be procella, but in ecclesiastical it's procella. And then we have carnem, Antiochia. This would be agere in classical Latin, but in ecclesiastical it's agere. And then we have, like, etc. It's just like Italian. So traditional 19th century English orthography, modern orthography with macrons. Here's an example of the first four lines of the Aeneid in classical Latin. Arma virumque cano Troiae qui primus aboris, Italiam fato profugus, laviniaque venit, litura multum ille terris, iactatus et alto, vi superum, saeveae memorem lunonis ob iram. Oh, there's an IPA apparently down here. So, I might not have been pronouncing it correctly, because I forgot about the fact that Latin did have nasal vowels, kind of like French, except only from like nasal consonants at the end of words. So, arma virumque cano Troiae qui primus aboris, Italian fato profugus, a lavinaque venit, litura multville terris iactatus et alto, vi superum, saevae memoriae iunonis obiram. From medieval Latin, Pange lingua gloriosi corporis mysterium, sanguinisque pretosi, quem in mudi pretium, fructus ventris generosi, rex effudit gentium. It's just yeah. One example that people often cite for that difference that I completely forgot is Veni Vidi Vici, the quote from Julius Caesar. He didn't say Veni Vidi Vici. He said Veni Vidi Vici. Traditional English pronunciation of Latin, which again is just like reading it in Latin with an English accent. So, arma virumque cano Troiae qui primus aboris, Italiam fato profugus, lavinaque venit, litora multum ille terris tactus et alto, vi superum seve memoriam junonis ab iram. That's how you would read it in like the English pronunciation of Latin. So like people in like universities or I don't know, the church, if they were English, that's how they would read the Latin texts. And it's kind of stupid, won't lie, I think is kind of stupid because it just sounds not good. Hmm. Have I been doing anything else lately? Yes. Do I feel like showing them off on the stream? Not necessarily. Is Egbert round? That should be the new, like, sarcastic question to ask instead of, like, do bears shit in the woods? Or does the Pope live in Rome? You don't say that. You say, is Egbert round? As a sarcastic yes. I don't know. I've never seen a bear shit in the woods. And again, I don't think I've ever seen a bear IRL, except at, like, a zoo. Maybe. I once went on vacation, and it was in a cabin in the woods, and I'm not kidding, there was a metal, like, poster up on the wall that said something like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears, bears will kill you. Which I guess is good advice. Anyway, I'm changing the music to something else. So, we are now listening to... Allow me to change it. Guesscom. I was talking about the mini disc earlier. This is the mini disc. I have it on shuffle. But I might not have it on for like that long, because I plan on wrapping the stream up pretty soon. I don't know how soon, but relatively soon. Someone else is following me on Rate Your Music now. That's pretty cool. Perhaps it was someone watching the stream, in which case, thank you. The sound is interesting. Ancient Greek, blah, blah, blah. Greek is the language... I just want to go back to Indo-European. Indo-European is interesting. Significant isoglosses in Indo-European daughter languages at around 500 BC. Blue is Kentum languages, red is Satem languages. Languages with augment. I'm not even sure what that is. The augment is an Indo-European verbal prefix used in Indo-Iranian, Greek, Phrygian, Armenian, and Albanian to indicate past time. This augment might be either a Proto-Indo-European archaic feature lost elsewhere or a common innovation in these groups. So, interesting. I didn't know about this concept. Green is languages where t became s. Tan is languages where t became st. Pink, languages with instrumental, dative, and ablative plural endings. So, Germanic and Balto-Slavic. So, Kentum languages are mostly in this area where the sort of palatalized sound g became further back in the mouth, g. Whereas there's also Satem languages where instead of the g merging with k, it moved forward in the mouth and became s. The Kentum and Satem come from the Latin word for 100 and the Sanskrit word for 100. Most of the Kentum languages are in this area, but Tocharian is a Kentum language and it's all the way over here. So. Yeah, the red is the Satem languages, which includes Iranian, Balto-Slavic, Armenian. It's Hydra. And then Greek is over here. Sorry, I am a little eepy. I'm not sure why, because I haven't even been awake for that long. I've been awake for maybe... I don't know how long, like 4 or 5 hours. Sorry, I got caught up in the beat. Let's see. Key languages for reconstruction. In reconstructing the history of Indo-European languages and the form of the Proto-Indo-European language, some languages have been of particular importance. These generally include the ancient Indo-European languages that are both well attested and documented at an early date, although some languages from later periods are important if they are particularly linguistically conservative, most notably Lithuanian. Yeah, Lithuanian is just a really cool language. It is fairly conservative in terms of Indo-European, like, features, but it's not at all close to Proto-Indo-European at all. I just think it's awesome. I think it sounds really beautiful. That's what I think. I love the sound of the Lithuanian language. Here's a video of someone speaking Lithuanian. Perhaps we may learn.
Sveiki, aš esu iš Lietuvos, mano vardas Erika ir dabar šiuo metu esu Kosove, Prištinoje ir dalyvauju seminaruose, Albanology Seminars vadinasi, apie albanų kultūrą, istoriją, kalbą, mokomės pagrinde, vyksta pamokos kiekvieną dieną, 2 kartus per dieną ir mokomės albanų kalbos. Ir kodėl aš čia, Prištinoje,
etc. So you get the point. I just think it's a really cool sounding language. And the Baltic languages in general, I love. Baltic forms its own, or is part of its own larger sub-branch called Balto-Slavic, which includes the Baltic and the Slavic languages. So like Lithuanian and Latvian, but also like Russian, Ukrainian, Czech, Polish, Bulgarian, Macedonian, Croatian, all of them in the same sub-branch, which itself has 2 branches, Baltic and Slavic. And Baltic conserved more features than Slavic did. And another really cool one that I like learning about, at least, is Old Prussian, which went extinct a long time ago, but they're trying to revive it based on little bits of written evidence from the time, and also living languages like Lithuanian and Latvian. But it was spoken in Baltic Prussia, which covered an area from like Poland and modern day, I think it's Kaliningrad, which is a part of Russia, but it's like not directly attached to Russia. And also Latvia, Lithuania, I think parts of Germany as well. That's where it was spoken, but it went extinct in the 18th century. And what little written evidence there is of this language was mostly written by people who weren't native speakers. So we've just had to sort of assume what the phonology of the language is. Kails proskais eins par antres, reconstructed as Kails pas Kails eins par antran. Most of the people who were writing this language down either spoke like a Romance language or German, or like putting it in the context of like Latin. And they were trying to approximate sounds that didn't exist in their native language. Most of the people writing were not native speakers of Old Prussian. They were just copying other people and corrupting it through whatever language they spoke. But they're trying to revive it, and apparently there are at least a couple of fully native speakers, as in parents who are raising their children to speak the Prussian language. Which is pretty cool. I am being attacked by sound waves. Help. Old Prussian language test of Wikipedia at Wikimedia Incubator. This is an open test in the Wikimedia Incubator. If you know this language, you are encouraged to contribute. Go to the main page. Yes, please. Kailsperiacians in Wikipedian. Pawirpan encyclopedian kamazeti teistkuns area erains. Russiska Wikipedia ast projektan kawidas kaidskil asterinctun wisan wesnins. Here's what I think. A better orthography needs to be developed for Prussian. Because as cool as this language is, it's not exactly clear to me as it's written exactly how everything should be pronounced. Because being a Baltic language, there are palatalized consonants, and it's not exactly always clear where the palatalizations are. So I feel like they should come up with like a new system of like showing how those are pronounced to make it easier to read. Because this is sort of based on the old Prussian way of writing, which was just fuck all. That was what it was. I eased the beepus. That's what I just did. Kavidas kansiski ast srinktun wisan wesnan waisnan. I'm gonna look this up on Wiktionary. I'm gonna do category Old Prussian. Old Prussian lemmas, I think is what I am looking for. Old Prussian nouns, Old Prussian numerals. There's only a few of these that have pronunciations, like IPA pronunciations with them. Dewis. I think this one... Drastus, meaning belly or paunch. I'm not gonna lie, paunch is a word that I've only ever heard from Homestar Runner. I'm pretty sure there's like a video, like a Strong Bad email where Strong Bad is talking about like punching Strong Sad in the paunch or something. We have Loxnus. This one does have a pronunciation, because you can see that there. Loxnus. There we go. Old Prussian terms with IPA pronunciation. I've looked at all of these. We have Sier. Sier. Rilkus. Rilkus is apparently how it's pronounced. Oh, it's a wolf. Wolf's is cool. So now I have learned the Baltic word, the Old Prussian word for wolf. It was Rilkus, which came from Proto-Indo-European Wulkwus, Proto-Balto-Slavic Wilkas, cognate with Lithuanian Vilkas, Latvian Vilks, and Proto-Slavic Vilka. I think that's how it was pronounced. Because these like letters exist in Russian. In Russian, this symbol is called mягкий знак, and this one is called твердый знак, which means soft sign and hard sign. Basically, soft sign indicates palatalization. So if you were to pronounce this as a Russian word, it would be vilk. Vilk. That's it. And the word for wolf in Russian is volk. There it is, volk. Who is also a the name of a character from world-famous show Nu Pagadi, which my friend who speaks Russian introduced to me. It's a fun show. It's a fun cartoon. But one of the characters is a wolf, and his name is just Volk, which is wolf. Anyway. In Proto-Slavic and Old Russian as well, up until Old Russian, these sounds were not just symbols to indicate whether a sound was palatalized or not. They were vowels, but they were much shorter and had less emphasis on them. So in Proto-Slavic, this was pronounced vilka. So the mягкий знак vowel was like an I. very short in the mouth, I. And then the fjordisnak vowel was like an U, rounded, but again, not emphasized as much as other vowels like I, U, A, O. So we have vilkolaku, meant werewolf. And vilchina meant wolf meat and skin. But it comes from Proto-Balto-Slavic, wilkas, which apparently had the stress shifted. So Wulkos in Proto-Indo-European, but Wilkas in Proto-Balto-Slavic, which is interesting. But yeah, I find all of these concepts very interesting to me. Pakwatisna meant lust. A user has added this entry to requests for verification. If it cannot be verified that this term meets our attestation criteria, it will be deleted. If I hit the plus, non-English comment. Old Prussian. That's it? I mean, that is true. We don't have, like, verification for how it was pronounced, or how it's pronounced now by people who speak it now. But I really hope that at some point we get that data. Because I would love to learn... Maybe not learn the language, but learn even more about it. Okay, a user has added this entry to request for verification with a reason, just some reconstruction. Nyawinyai may or may not have been how this number was pronounced. Nyawinyai, which was the number 9. There's also Nyawints, which is the ordinal form, 9th, in English. That's another word. How about rugs? What did this mean? The first month of the year, so like January. We have addle. Except it's not addle, it's udlia. Udlia. With a palatalized L. Udlia. Cognates include Latvian egle, Lithuanian egle, and descendants of Proto-Slavic edle, spruce. Interesting. What about moasis? It's like oasis, but with an M. What does this mean? Moisus. From Proto-Balto-Slavic maishas, Proto-Indo-European moisos, sheep or skin of sheep, and it meant bellows, apparently. Which makes sense, because you can make a bellows out of those types of materials. Because they stretch. Before synthetic materials came around, you would use animals. Hence why, like, guitar strings used to be made of intestines. What I find weird is that the name of the material that those strings were made of is called catgut, but they didn't actually come from cats. They came from, like, cattle or sheep. The music changes. Okay, what's this? Wola means rock, apparently. But it also has another request for verification on it. What about this one? Galno. A user suggests that this old Prussian entry be cleaned up, giving the reason manual inflection tables should be moved to a template. So, Galno meant woman. It came from Proto-Balto-Slavic gena. That's another thing Proto-Balto-Slavic had, was it has this little glottal thing. Kind of like in Danish. Modern Danish has a thing called stud, where sometimes there's just a little catch in the throat in the middle of a word, and Proto-Balto-Slavic had this. But Baltic and Slavic both lost it. We have gena. But this came from Proto-Indo-European gwen, which meant woman. Cognates include Russian žena, English queen, and ancient Greek guna. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. Literally, the word all women are queens. In Old English, the word quen just meant woman. But then it became to be known just as the word for a female monarch. And this ancient Greek word, guna, is the gyne in gynecologist. So it's literally a doctor of, or doctor of woman, or whatever. I only just recently learned, it might have been on stream as well, but I don't remember, that there's another word for, shall I say the man version of a gynecologist? But I can't remember what that word is. But it subs out the gyne for woman with the ancient Greek word for man, like male. I would search it up, but I don't want to have pictures show up. Just in case they show up. So you know what? I'm going to go on my phone real quick and search up male version of gynecologist. Andrologist. That's what it is. That's the name of a doctor who looks at, if you're a guy, who looks at your man part, etc. You learn something new every day, and now you may say that you learned it from a kangaroo. Yeah. I can't believe I went this entire stream without changing my avatar once. I like this glitch beat. Taurus, apparently. Which meant oryx. Yeah, I recognized it from, like, Taurus, the word, which, I mean, Taurus was it's a bull in Greek. So it comes from that same root. Taurus in Old Prussian. Tauros. It meant oryx, but also meant just like wild bull or cattle. The oryx is extinct now. I don't know much about oryx. In fact, I barely even know what they are. I just know that they existed, and they've been extinct for how long? 1627. So this was how far they were spread, and that's the bull that inspired Taurus. Like, that was the Taurus. Speculative profile of an Indian oryx. So this is just like a rendering, basically. Oryx bollocks. What's this one? Konya, which meant marten. So like the little, like, yeah, the like weasel looking creatures, pine martens. Interesting. So we have learned something new today about things, and some people have joined as well. I'll probably be wrapping things up now. I'm going to turn the music way down, and let's just have a heart-to-heart, alright? Move me back into the center. Move that back up there. And I need to face everyone. Hello. Yeah. So, thank you for watching the stream, and thank you to the friends who popped in, even if they only popped in for a little. Both of the friends, I will link to shit that they do in the description if you would like to see more. Because I like to pride myself on being a good friend who promotes his friends. Yay. Speaking of promoting, I have a Ko-fi. If you like the shit I make, you can, if you would like, then you may donate a small amount of money, so that I can have money to buy things, which I currently don't have. I'm actually currently in the process of setting up a Patreon. No idea when that will go live. It's still pending approval. Hopefully that'll be soon, because it literally just became Monday as I was speaking. It's literally 20 seconds past midnight right now. So hopefully that'll go live, and no benefits I can promise right now, but hopefully that'll change. So I have the Ko-fi down there that you can visit, and hopefully the Patreon will be up soon. And if you like the stuff I do and you want to help me out a bit, I would very much appreciate it. I don't have a job. I don't have a source of income right now. But I want to keep doing the stuff that I love doing, and that includes these streams. So yeah, please consider literally anything helps, even if it's just like $1. So that's that, and that is my promotion over with. I love you. Platonically, I love you. I'm pointing at you. You are a friend. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not cool. You are a very cool being. Whatever you are equal, and you are fun, and you deserve love, and I would like to hug you, except I don't have arms. But you can hug me, because you probably have them. Yeah. The music changed again. Alright. That's it. Bye-bye. 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 Oh, my mic's still on. What fun. Why don't I just tell... Okay, I will tell everyone the story of the time that I ate the biggest egg. First of all, it was the 5th of October, 1972, and the egg was in front of me. And as I was sitting there looking at the egg, I thought, wonder what would happen if I put that in my mouth. So what I did was I unhinged my entire jaw, shoved it directly into my throat, and then swallowed without chewing. I was hoping it would cut off, but I hit the wrong button instead.